So apparently I woke up one morning to discover my private driveway had turned into the neighborhood freeway. No vote, no warning, just a varsity jacket kid in a Range Rover, nearly clipping my dog while treating my property like a NASCAR shortcut. Yeah, that happened. And if you ever want to learn how fast community spirit turns into land grab theater, just let an HOA smell convenience where your property line used to be. I heard the crunch before I saw anything, tires on gravel, brakes squealing. A horn blast like someone thought I was the obstacle. Then that SUV blasted past my garage, cut across the yard, slipped through a janky gate I sure didn't install, and vanished onto the next street like it had always belonged there. 30 seconds later another car followed, then another. Suddenly my quiet dead-end driveway. The whole reason my wife and I bought this corner lot was apparently the HOA's newest traffic solution. Now 3 days before that, life had been normal, peaceful. Even I work from home as an industrial engineer, which basically means quiet isn't just nice. It's required. Spreadsheets don't love chaos. And this curved driveway was our little buffer from the neighborhood bustle, but I'd started noticing tire tracks near the hedges. More than usual. Figured it was the mail truck turning around, or some kid practicing driving. No big deal, right? Then came the sign. Cheap plywood, crooked stake, hammered right at the edge of my lawn. Community flow access. Temporary routing approved by HOA. I stood there blinking like the sentence might rearrange itself into something sane, because HOAs argue over mailbox shades for months. But rerouting traffic through private land? That felt bold. Still, I told myself, misunderstanding, paperwork mix-up, so I pulled the sign, drove to the HOA office, converted model home with fake shutters, smelled permanently of burnt coffee, and asked who authorized it. Enter Karen. Yes, her real name, yes, the stereotype fits. Posture like she's never been wrong. Voice like she narrates perfume ads. Until challenged, she gave me that soft pity smile and said they needed a temporary traffic flow solution while Maple Drive got repaved. Just a few weeks. Your property is so accessible. Accessible like a public restroom. I told her politely, okay, mostly politely, that my driveway was private property. She tapped her iPad, smile tightening, said something about soft access zone adjacent to community boundary. I asked where that clause existed in actual law. She said next month's meeting would clarify, which conveniently happened after construction would already be finished. You know what I mean? Delay long enough, and people stop fighting. Except I don't. Next morning there's already a temporary gate installed. My bushes ripped out, gravel dumped across the lawn, cones everywhere, and someone even painted a sign asking drivers to go slow on my land. That's when I called my cousin Barry, backyard barbecue lawyer, flip-flops, terrifyingly good with property law. He said, document everything. Let them think they're winning. So I did photos, video, license plates, and traffic exploded. SUVs parading through like Google Maps had declared my house public infrastructure. One mom even asked if I'd move my mailbox so she could make a wider turn. I just stared like, lady, do you hear yourself? Then Mitch, neighbor, decent guy, HOA volunteer when guilt strikes, pulls me aside, whispers Karen's pushing to make it permanent, petitioning for an easement, calling it an emergency route, already gathering signatures. That was the moment it clicked. This wasn't convenience, this was annexation. That night I stood by the driveway with a beer, Max the dog beside me, thinking how absurd it was. I paid for every square inch of this place, and suddenly I'm defending it like a border dispute. But here's the twist most folks didn't know before remote engineering work. I designed mechanical deterrent systems for logistics yards, spike barriers, controlled gates, anti-theft layouts, basically polite ways of saying don't come here. So yeah, I had options. Before I even finished planning, HOA escalated crews literally sawing through my fence, claiming they needed alternate access from the Greenbelt Trail. No permit, no warning, just power tools chewing into my property while tossing around the word flow like it justified trespassing. I called police, civil matter. They said show ownership, maybe court later. Classic shrug. That evening I went to their emergency meeting, clubhouse packed, stale cookies, folding chairs, Karen presenting a PowerPoint proposing a temporary easement. On my parcel they actually voted on it 3-2, non-binding but operational flexibility. I nearly laughed or flipped a chair, hard to tell. Barry called afterward, excited. Her proposal entered false claims into official record liability goldmine. Meanwhile, I'd already filed cease and desist letters, zoning clarification requests, injunction paperwork, plus trail cams everywhere. And then I built the masterpiece. Industrial gravel first, sharp, miserable stuff used on logging trails. turns smooth driveway into a rattling gauntlet, then the retractable spike strip, solar-powered Bluetooth remote, hidden under a steel plate disguised with gravel, totally legal on private property with warning signage. I tested it on my own car. Spikes down, smooth pass, spikes up, instant tire surrender. Effective. Sign went up. Private property, no through traffic, proceed at your own risk. 20 minutes later, Karen herself drove in. Perfect cinematic timing. She didn't notice the gravel rolled confidently forward. I clicked the remote, spikes rose, tires hissed flat. In seconds her luxury SUV sagged, like a deflated balloon, honking cars piling behind her. She stepped out furious, heels wobbling, yelling I sabotaged a road. I reminded her it wasn't a road, it was mine. Barry handled the legal aftermath beautifully. Proof of trespass, signage ignored, recorded HOA memos, traffic vanished overnight. But here's the twist nobody expected. County inspector shows up. Turns out he already knew Karen. She'd tried a similar land grab years earlier for a community meditation gazebo. He confirmed everything, my property, my rights. HOA overstepped, even hinted at audits. Then security cameras caught her nephew sneaking onto my land at midnight, cutting tape, tampering with locks, real illegal stuff. Barry saved that for later. And my quiet secret? That weird triangle of neglected land behind my fence, technically county surplus. I'd bought it months earlier, dirt cheap, the exact land Karen claimed supported her shortcut plan. So at the next HOA meeting, Barry plays the night vision footage, gasps everywhere. Then I hand Karen the deed to that triangle parcel, told her plainly the shortcut just died because now I own the last piece she needed. Board flipped fast. Liability fear is powerful. Motion of no confidence. Investigation launched, Karen's influence evaporating. But she tried one last stunt. Newsletter proposing emergency access ordinance, my driveway highlighted again. So Barry and I marched straight to county office. Inspector basically laughed, called it zoning violation bait. Final HOA meeting? Packed house. Inspector publicly declared their map illegal. Audit incoming. Someone moved for Karen's removal. Vote passed almost unanimously. And just to top it off, a tow truck showed up mid-meeting to repossess an HOA vehicle over financial misuse. I swear you couldn't script it better. Karen resigned next morning, dramatic email, vague threats, the works. Board apologized formally, acknowledged my full property rights, policies reversed quietly. So yeah, couple weeks later I threw a barbecue at the end of the driveway, banner said shortcut closed party. Burgers, music, neighbors finally relaxed, even Mitch showed up with beer. County inspector grabbed a hot dog. Max supervised everything like security chief. Now nights are quiet again, gravel glints under porch light. Spikes mostly retired but still ready, and honestly, there's a special kind of peace when you've defended your ground without backing down. Funny thing is, some folks still say I went too far. Others say I didn't go far enough. And I keep wondering where that line really sits. When does protecting what's yours become hostility? And when does community good turn into straight-up entitlement? What would you have done if strangers started treating your property like public infrastructure? Fight, compromise, or just move on? Drop your take. I'm genuinely curious because justice, ownership, and neighbor politics get messy fast. And hey, if you've ever had HOA drama or a neighbor push boundaries, share it. Those stories always beat fiction.